Marc Miller, close personal friend and hero of mine, race-winning driver in the
Continental Tire
Series. If you could describe this dinner with racers in one word, what would it be?
Whiskey is good.
Hell yes.
One
One word.
One word.
And now for Dinner with Racers, presented by
Continental Tire.
with your hosts, Ryan Eversley and Sean Heckman.
Placeholder radio sound. I'm a driver. I'm very angry. This is the sound of a driver on the radio during a race.
What do you think I should order?
Dinner with Racers, Season 2. Welcome. I am your host, Sean Heckman.
And I'm your other host, Ryan Eversley.
And welcome. We are currently concluding a 40-day trip that spanned 12,000 miles over 29 states, all in a Honda Odyssey with, hey, Ryan, what kind of tires?
Continental Tires.
The Cross Contact LX20. And we drove across the country to bring you a free podcast where you get to sit down and hear what it's like to hang out with a bunch of cool people in the motorsport industry.
And Sean and I.
So after running through Ohio, we decided, you know what, let's back this up and head back west and then north, and ending up in Holland, Michigan to meet with none other than Mr. Marc Miller. Now, Marc Miller is a pretty cool story and somebody that a lot of us within the sports car community are pretty close to. Marc's story is one that, to be blunt, is still ongoing. Like many of us, he started in go-karts and did his best to work his way up, but as a guy with virtually no funding, has really spent the better part of 2 decades trying to sort of find his name and find his way, and it's really only been the last couple of years that he's broken out. Most notably, in the last couple of years, Marc has won multiple races in the Continental Tire Sports Car Championship, most recently in the GS category, but also made his name in the ST category, and just did his second year straight of running at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. He's a great example of what a working driver really is, and what hard work and dedication to sort of keeping yourself in the sport can lead to.
Marc Miller's always been a friend of mine since I met him. We clicked almost right away, and we always seem to pair up at the racetrack on weekends when we're at the same events. And he's just one of those guys. I talk to him on a regular basis outside of the podcast or outside of racing. So to get to go and see his hometown of Holland, Michigan, and have some food with him. He's a great cook, not as good as Bill Riley, but who is. And just getting to hang out with him. We learned a new way to eat corn from his girlfriend Tabitha. That was kind of unique. And just a great dude all around. And we got to tell the story of how Sean got ran over by a go-kart, which plays a prominent role in our rap song. So I enjoyed this meal a lot. I believe I had the steak and corn.
And all credit to Marc and Tabitha, who made me a chicken sandwich.
No casserole was consumed.
Here's Marc Miller.
All right, we're going to start in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Are we allowed to know what you're making, or is it a surprise?
Yeah, you can
I
kind
can
of see
tell
it.
it's not vegan.
I'm going in on the steak.
Oh, you're in on the Riley, the season 2?
Like I'm going in.
You're kind of first in.
Well,
Okay.
no. Brad
Yeah,
Kettler's
Brad Kettler, but he didn't make
girlfriend-
steak. She didn't make steak.
But it's a meal cooked
That
for
is
us,
true,
'cause,
yeah,
like,
our
the
second-
Taylors didn't make steak either. They
No,
made
pizza. Yeah. So thanks for letting me use your laundry.
No problem. Are we rolling right now?
Yeah, we are, but it's very loose. And just
Check.
Yeah, we're good. But just get up when you need to cook.
All right.
That's
Yeah.
what
So
I
I can just
Yeah.
leave this out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
if
what
you need to
Jeff
go right
Brown
now.
Yeah, that's fine.
did. Are we good before we start jumping into things?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
Well, you gotta look at me when you're.
No,
Yeah, you look at me when you talk to me.
Jesus. Look me in the eye.
Uh,
So let's jump into this. So you're like Riley's guy now.
It'd be
not
awesome.
you,
man.
Riley.
Yeah.
He's the worst.
That guy's an asshole. No, he's. I don't.
Because like you basically, there was, for lack of a better expression, like a shootout for bronze drivers
like
at Le
his
Mans
bronze
last
guy.
year. Yeah, he was looking for like the top bronze guy he could find
And
for Le Mans
I
last
look
year.
at Eversley and he just rolls his eyes and sighs.
Nope. We're not doing that.
Oh, really?
This is
I was
going to be
like-
the drivers ratings episode.
Thank God. This is like the it's now the 3 things you don't talk about with your friends: religion, politics, and
BOP,
driver
and
rank.
driver rankings. Yeah. The funny thing is like everybody we've talked to from the sports car side of stuff that is involved with that on this season, it's come up, and the first thing Sean and I say to each other is like, "This is not staying in."
I love it.
Because
Well,
it's
good.
not about that.
Yeah.
But it is like we all know how stupid the entire situation is, so we all go, "This is just dumb."
Right.
It
but
is what it is.
we're not going to have the season of driver rankings in the final edit.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because they're still going to be around.
It'll be sorted out by then, right?
Yeah, it'll totally be fixed.
Listen, I love that you get opportunities because of driver rankings. Like you're one of my favorite people in the paddock, and you know that. And when
The
Bill
feeling's mutual.
told us that you were getting on season 1 of Dinner with Racers,
Yes, I remember that.
when Bill told us that you were getting the ride, we were like, dude, that's so cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's awesome. So I do see some cool things come out of it. I just wish it was.
Yeah, I mean,
I wish it was actually like give me a system. Give me like a breakdown of like not you. I'm saying that the people doing this like here do these things and then we'll consider whatever. But it's such a like well.
see, you do go through a process though because a year and a half, I think, just over a year and a half before that, when the factory team was testing, you know, Bill worked with me as an engineer when I ran MX5 Cup, and I have known him for a long time, and we just got to know each other. I always leaned on him for questions, information. Even when I raced stock cars in Canada, I was like, I would call him and say, "Hey, I need advice. Here's what we have to run.
Right.
You know, can you help me out?" And he was always just really open and willing to help. And you know, when you've got a guy like that, you know, to answer questions,
Yeah.
you take it. So a year and a half before I tested down in Sebring for Keating, really, it was a factory test, and I was up against, you know, Fogarty and I mean Bomarito, who got the deal. A lot of really good drivers.
And this is
the guys I looked up
2014.
to. Yeah,
Or that
and
was the GTLM car or the.
that was for the LM.
Yeah.
And you know, the factory Dodge people were there, and I got an opportunity. Goosens was there as a kind of liaison and stuff. So that was one of those. That was a big deal for me because up until that point, I'd raced, you know, open wheel stock cars and MX5 Cup.
Yeah.
You know, and some the odd and end here and there, but it was the first real big test that I did, and you know, from my feedback. Oh, Billy Johnson was in that test too. So
Yeah.
and that's where I kind of met him, and you know, I had known Bomarito. Bomarito was a head coach, and I'd worked with him as a spotter, and he's just a great guy. I love that guy. And I think in Bill's, you know, in Bill's interview, he was talking about good people, and you know, when I meet good people in the paddock, I gravitate towards them, and I want to stay around them, and you know, share my life with them. You know, it's like the paddock's not that big, but there's only a handful of really good people, and you feel like you can trust all the time.
Right.
And Bill was always one of those go-to guys. And so I did well in that test, but you know, in 2012, man, I was fat and I was running STE. And
Whoa. Nothing wrong with running ST.
no, but I was fat. You know, it's like I didn't feel like I looked the part of being a race driver, and that's the last couple of years I've really taken since my accident in Sebring a couple years ago. I've really taken a different approach. So I want to feel like I look the part as well as being the part. So it's a lot of work to do that.
Well, that's a testament to, you know, you're going for basically, I don't know if shootout's the right term, but you're going for a shootout for a factory Viper ride.
Yeah,
against,
that's a shootout.
Against top,
You know,
against top guys. And you know this is, waste of time is the wrong expression, but you know that based on your experience, you're not going to do well. But opportunities, you have to take almost all of them because you just don't know what that's going to lead to.
Yeah, it's like getting nominated for an Academy Award, but you're up against, like, you're a newcomer.
Right.
And you're up against the best of the best that you look up to. So, you know, to coin that term,
stage,
to be in that realm was really cool. And I every time I'm in that situation, I take as much from it as I can and learn from it as much as I can. Because, I mean, what else are you going to do? I can bitch about it and say, I should have gotten that, like you know, some guys do. But really, you know, I'm a realist, and all I'm doing is trying to learn every day and just get better at it.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, when you went to Road Atlanta for another test to get the ride as well for the Le Mans test or Le Mans ride?
I didn't go.
You weren't at that ride.
I didn't
so
even
you
go.
weren't even at
I
the
didn't
test.
drive that car until the morning of the official test at Le Mans.
So the
No
test
kidding.
where
Yeah. In fact, at Petite this year, I hadn't driven that car in 7.5 months. Not
Right.
since Sebring.
So Bill lied to us.
no,
No,
lied-
they
he lied
called
to
me
us.
from there.
No.
Bill.
Yeah, he probably lied to us.
Yeah.
He's a son of a bitch.
They called me from that test
Right.
and said, "Could you come down
Yeah.
and be here
Interesting.
tomorrow?" And I was like, yeah, maybe."
Yeah,
And I'm
right.
checking flights. Well, maybe you don't have to come down. And
Oh,
then I
well,
was
it's
kind of
expensive.
He goes, "I'm really sorry we're doing this to you, but maybe you should come." No, I don't know.
You're
Let
like,
me
"What's
give me an
happening?"
hour. Yeah, and I was so I'd hang up the phone and I'd just stand there and
Was he
stare at
fucking
the
with you?
wall for. No,
Oh,
no.
he literally
it
was
was
like,
the
"Can
one,
you come down here?"
one
Well,
couple moments that
This was
he's
probably
not.
the day he was testing, because he told us the story of how he was testing bronze drivers.
Yeah.
And a couple guys did do well,
Yeah.
but they, in the words of him, talked themselves out of it.
Yeah.
So maybe, I guess you weren't there, and then I guess they talked themselves out of it. He's
Yeah.
like, I wonder how Mark
What are
will
we
fit.
wasting our time on this for?
Yeah.
Well, in your case, Bill pointed out that he had a history with you. You know, he's like,
Yeah.
I know the guy. I've known him for a long time. We've done a lot of stuff together. And when we sat down with Mike Shank the other day, he said the same thing about testing a couple young guys in Atlanta. And I jokingly was like, didn't get the phone call. And he's like, I didn't know you.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, yeah, no, I'm joking. But he's like, yeah, but honestly, that's half the thing is I just didn't know you. You're like,
Yeah, I think that's
fair.
the biggest. And you think about even the ST paddock. Just,
Mm-hmm.
I look back and I was racing go karts. I've known Andy Lally forever. You know?
Yeah.
And I was racing go karts in WK back in the early '90s, and he was running the biggest. We were running the two biggest 4-cycle classes ever.
Right.
And I didn't race against him. I ran like the stock heavy class. He ran stock medium, and we won the championship the same year.
Oh, that's cool.
And we'd always, I'd paddock next to him, and he and his family, I knew what they did. But, when he went off, he basically got opportunities by just being there
Yeah.
at the track
Yeah.
and just pounding the pavement.
Relentless.
I never,
Yeah.
I went about it so polar opposite, with a more business approach, and had a company and did work, all the stuff that I would have to pay someone else to do for me. I learned, I did it, and then I started doing it for other people
Right.
and created a business.
Yeah.
And then, took the opportunities from there. So I went from, being an engineer in mechanic, engineer, driver coach, test driver. I've done a lot of development driver stuff and never got that full-time season ride, but that wasn't my role at that time. So
Right.
I just kept developing a business plan or business model around that. But being in ST for a full season,
Yeah.
you meet so many people, and that opportunities are there.
Yeah.
You have to show that you can do it, and you have the talent, and you're not an a-hole, and
Right.
there's a
You can
there's
say asshole on this show.
you're not an asshole.
There it is.
So I mean, it's one of those situations where you just got to be there,
Yeah.
and you got to be doing the job,
Right.
and you got to do it every day.
If there's one thing I think we've learned, especially when we're talking to drivers on this series, is that no one has the same path to get to where they're at. So it's like, arguably you've really kind of arrived in the GT scene only in the last year or two, and,
Yeah.
and for the most part have been unknown, especially in sort of these circles, until you started showing up in Continental a few years ago, and now you're doing the Enduros. So
I like to burst onto a scene, like strategically wait for 10 extra years,
right,
and
you're
then
about to
burst
say
out.
that.
That's my moment.
Because
9 more years,
Yeah,
guys.
because you're
That's
what,
right, just
20
counting down.
Because you're what, 23?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
That's not nice.
You said the 10 years thing.
You open the door.
How's the
It's delicious.
But so I mean, we're not making this a career show, but for those who don't know, I mean, your path was basically you started in karts, but you didn't grow up with a lot of money.
No.
Yeah.
No. It's funny. Like I was 18. I started in go-karts. I was raised in Virginia. I'm from Michigan. I was born and raised in Michigan, so to speak. I was born and then moved early and raised the first 15 years of my life in Southwest Virginia. And everything stock cars down there.
Yeah.
VIR was
Days.
weeds.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
it had existed,
grown over.
and I heard all of the legends and
Yeah,
stories of VIR, but it wasn't there. And I started on dirt oval go-karts, and then my dad and I built a stock car together. Very much like Ryan's career, but it's just a lot of others. We built a car together. I was 14 when I started racing stock cars. Lied about my age. Outlaw tracks. You don't have to be NASCAR sanctioned. And it's weird. Like 15 years later, like John Edwards and stuff. He's 12 and racing.
Yeah, and
It's like
totally cool.
Totally cool now. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh man, what? I had to lie about my age
Yeah.
back then. So, and when I moved back from Virginia to Michigan, I went back to go-kart racing, but then everything changed to road courses. So, I've done just about every type of karting you can do, from dirt oval. Well, we've been out in the field on a road course in the dirt too, but that's just for fun. And
That's a Saturday.
a pavement oval, 2-cycle, 4-cycle, shifter karts, lay down enduros, super karts, 250 super karts, just about everything. Was the typical, 18 to 23-year-old.
Yeah.
I'm going open wheel racing. I want to go race in Indy cars or Champ Car, or I want to do that, But I never was set on it. My goal was just, I want to race cars.
Yeah.
That's all I want to do.
Yeah,
I don't
same.
care. I raced open wheel in Canada because it was cheap. I had a really good friend of mine that convinced me, hey, for every $1 you get $1.50 up here. We can go a long way. So what I would do is cross the border from Michigan, go to Canada, race in Canada, race at Mosport and Shannonville and Tremblant, and race basically Ontario circuit for a small budget. And years later, when I was just doing driver coaching and I had nothing going on, I got a phone call from the team that a friend of mine that owned the team that I raced formula cars for, and he says, hey, one of your competitors bought a stock car team and is testing and stuff, and your name came up, you should give him a call. So I was like, of course okay, yeah. I called him up. I've got nothing. So I've got nothing else to do. So I called him up, and he was like, wow, that was fast. I just got off the phone with him.
Like,
so,
okay, that's too fast.
so that's kind of how I got into stock cars. Is I went up and did a test and did really, really well for him, and for 4 seasons I ran like half seasons.
Of CASCAR.
Yeah, of CASCAR.
Yeah.
And I was only U.S. driver in CASCAR at the time. That's when I kind of got into MX5 Cup, and I can't just make the transition because I never had a budget. So I was like, well, I can go to MX5 Cup, but the first year and a half, 2 years, I'm going to be engineering and coaching. So I would engineer for Eric Foss and
MER.
Jason Saney when they won the championships.
Yeah.
So that was what I did. I engineered and I driver coached for 6 to 10 drivers because, MX5 Cup, you're not doing it unless you're packing 9 or 10 cars under 10 easy ups, and that's just the way you have to make it work. And then in 2010, Foss went and started running GT in a Porsche, and he couldn't coach Jeff. I'm like, so Jeff and Eric both asked me, hey, are you interested? And I was like, heck yeah, I've got nothing else to do.
I'm not busy.
So and that really helped me just because I was in the paddock and I met so many people. And then when it circled back around and CJ actually, started to kind of parlay. At the end of that year, I started to do some help. I started to help out his team with MX5 Cup.
Right.
I ran a couple of those races, and then they were building the ST MX5s.
Yeah.
And I was in the second car, didn't have a teammate. I think that year I had 5 different co-drivers.
Yeah.
Nice.
We were just kind of stringing it together.
Yeah.
And at the end of the season, though, we were one of the strongest cars in the series. And it's weird. You circle back to all your friends. The second race we ran, the first race at Daytona is a joke. We led in an MX-5 at Daytona overall because we just passed everybody under caution.
Everybody pit.
And everyone pitted, and we just passed it. And we passed the pace car, and Jim Jordan at the time was like, well, I think we've made a mistake here because we shouldn't be leading overall. But you know what? We'll just let the pace car go bye. But we're officially, we have snapshot. We're P1 overall. So technically,
At the worst
I led
track for
the first,
MX-5s.
the first race I ever ran in ST. I led, but
Overall.
the overall even. But at Barber, I narrowly got pulled to Andy Lally, and when he was running a factory Kia effort, we
which is
qualified
all
second.
Cheated up. Yeah.
Yeah, it was all totally cheated up.
It was.
So, well,
No, I know.
yeah, I know you know. So, that was and that was like the first time.
Yeah.
That's when you know that I could do this. And it seems like every time.
That's a big part of a career for a driver.
It's
The
huge.
first time you know, I'm allowed to be here.
Yeah.
And that was that time for you.
That was that time. But you know what? Every time you move to something else, though, you have to reinvent that moment.
Right.
So, in my first GT race was last year in May at Laguna Seca.
Yeah.
Not a great track for the Viper.
Right.
Qualified second. Led the first 40 minutes.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe I am supposed to be.
Okay, I'm
You know,
fine.
it's all right.
I'm fine. I'm
Okay.
not the problem, Riley. Yeah, Bill.
So is this the thing, the cooking out, or is this just because we're here?
No, I use that grill almost every day.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, in the winter too, I'll pull it closer to the door, and I'll put this I'll put the snow shovel out on the back deck, and I'll make a 3-foot path to go out there.
Holland, this is considered like Western Michigan, Northern
West
Michigan,
Michigan,
West
yeah.
Michigan,
Southwest Michigan,
Where are you flying to?
Grand Rapids, Michigan. Yep,
Okay.
Grand Rapids.
How far is that from here?
30 minutes.
Oh, okay. So it's not
Nice
so bad.
little airport. I can show up like 15 minutes before my flight.
And I assume everything has to connect into something else to get where you need
Yeah.
to go.
Minneapolis is the best.
Yeah.
Going west. You could keep going west.
So Minneapolis is kind of like a gem.
It's a big
to me.
hub.
It's a really nice airport.
It's
yeah,
my
like no one
favorite
knows this.
airport, and it has great sushi and everything. Actually,
And those little
that's where
kiosks.
I've had this story. I can tell
That's
this
the cracker story?
Yeah, I was
get
from
into that.
Minneapolis
All right,
Airport.
I'm hearing about this cracker story. I got to know.
I've told this story for the last 15 years, and this is like no joke.
Not to me. I guess we're not friends.
Technically or not?
I was racing CASCAR at the, yeah, we're new. This is a new deal. It's a new deal. You're still on the fence, really.
Yeah, like
So,
lovely weather.
So when I fly towards the west, I always try to go through Minneapolis because it is such a nice airport, and it's got a lot. But even back then, it was the Northwest Terminal. There was this bar called the Northern Lights, and I'm a people watcher. I don't like going and sitting at the gate. I'm not a big fan of that. I'll try to go find, at the time, Sports Center was on every TV in America. So I would just go to Minneapolis, get off, go to the Northwest section and hit for the Northern Lights, find a seat at the bar. But on my way there, you know when you're hungry, but you're not quite like full on hungry.
Yeah.
You want a little something. Well, I like these crackers, these the little package.
Little saltines.
The crackers. It was wheat with white cheddar. What's the brand?
It's like a
Comes 6 in a package.
not Keebler, is it?
No, Keebler has a
but
brand,
those
but
kind of, yeah.
it's those kind of crackers
They're like
and
2
stuff.
sandwich crackers.
Yeah,
Okay.
peanut butter and cheddar and
It's
like
the
vending machine
Yeah,
crackers.
vending
yeah,
crackers.
yeah. Okay.
So I go to Newport News, which is the big thing. I pick up a USA Today because people read papers back then, and
Tell us more, Grandpa.
I got a USA Today, and I got these little packages of crackers. But I always got the wheat with white cheddar, which they don't make anymore, and they haven't made for 8 or 9 years. Which is part of the story was the fact that I couldn't even find them on Amazon if I wanted to.
Right.
They don't even make them in China or Indonesia or anything. So pick up my crackers, USA Today, and I head over to the Northern Lights, which this year, I'm sad to say, I saw their sign taking down. They're redoing it. Yeah, and it was like a tear. Like I literally had a legitimate tear in my eye
Right.
because for
It's probably
15 years I've had this.
Yeah, staple.
And it's
Yeah,
gonna be
12
like
years I think.
Chili's to go. It's gonna be
Oh,
some.
it'll be
yeah,
similar.
yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
Emerald Lagasse's new restaurant. So I try to sit in the corner. I always try to sit in the same spot. It's easy. You can see the gate. There's 4 or 5 gates at the end. You can kind of see them. So if they're starting to board, you can kind of take off. But I sat there, and there was basically how I'm sitting with you. There's an area next to you, Sean. There was a newspaper. There was a guy that had his beer. It was a beer at 10:30 in the morning. I was like, maybe I will have a beer.
Yeah, I like this guy.
But he wasn't there.
Okay.
So, but he had all of his stuff out, and the bartender comes around the corner and comes walking down, and I'm up there watching Sports Center, and I said, this guy's having a beer. I think I'll have a beer. Give me a $12 beer. That'd be great. So I put my crackers up on the bar top and threw my backpack down, and USA Today up on the table, and comes around the corner, sets my beer down, and out of the corner of my eye, I see this guy coming out of the bathroom because the bathroom's right across the hall, and he comes walking over. And you know how you want to acknowledge someone's existence, but you not really talk to him. You just kind of, give the little head nod,
Yeah, I know you're
eyebrows
here.
up.
We don't need to do anything else.
Yeah.
We're done now.
How you doing? Yeah. Cheers. So I go back to watching Sports Center. He sits down, give him the old head nod. Go back to watching Sports Center. So a couple minutes goes by, and I'm like, I'm a little hungry. So I got these crackers. So I reach over. I pick up the package, and I have a special way of opening the crackers because I don't know if I'm going to eat 6 crackers. I may just eat 2 or 1. Or so I want to be able to. So I open up just the end, spread the top open, and I take 1 cracker out.
Cracker.
And a cracker and set it back down. It was a really good cracker too, and
fresh pack.
It was a fresh pack. Definitely made, circa 1980 something. So, but out of the corner of my eye, as I'm watching SportsCenter, I see this guy kind of watching this whole me picking up a cracker.
Same guy that.
Same guy. It's right in the corner.
Copy.
And he was just staring at me. Mm-hmm. I thought it was weird. About 2-3 minutes goes by, and I see out of the corner of my eye a hand reach out and pick up the cracker package.
Oh no! And if there's one thing you don't touch,
and he pulls
Marc Miller's crackers.
He pulls the cracker out.
Oh.
And he sets it down, sets the package back down, and he puts it in his mouth. And now I'm not making eye contact because I'm not a confrontational person, but I'm just like, did that guy just pick up one of my crackers?
Right.
Son of a! Are you kidding me? And as he's eating the cracker, like you can hear him chewing the cracker. Like I can't.
Like on purpose.
I can't believe it.
Like on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like he's like, I want you to know I ate crackers.
So the second I
don't
know what to do at this point.
There's like a John Hughes zoom in on his lips in slow motion.
So I'm thinking, okay, so you go to a bar, there's popcorn on the table, there's chips, there's nuts. Maybe this is a highbrow place, and it puts out packages of crackers, and he thinks it's community food. I was like, okay,
I'll give a pass.
All right. So I'm like, I gotta kind of put a stop to this. So I reach back out, I pick up the cracker, and the second row is harder. It's harder to get out than the first, so you kind of shake it, and I made it a big exaggerated shake.
Look at me eating my crackers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I get the second cracker, my second cracker out. The second cracker out. I pop it in my mouth, and I toss the cracker package down. It does like a smoky burnout right on the top, and I'm like, and as if to say, don't touch my freaking.
We knows whose crackers these are.
I go, that's a good cracker out loud.
Okay.
And I go back to drinking my beer, and I was like, problem solved.
Yeah,
right.
Now we're good.
The cracker package hadn't even finished its smoky burnout, and his hand reaches out, and he's both hands. I wish people could see this. His both hands, and now he spreads the package out. So I'm like, now I can't even wrap the last two up.
Right.
So he's like spreads it out flat. He eats the cracker. The package is spread eagle.
Right.
It's out.
Right.
There's crackers.
There's no
it has to be eaten.
No recycling these crackers.
There's nothing that you can't get a Ziploc bag for that from the bartender. So we still not making eye contact, but the second cracker, as he's eating it, he's staring at me. Like, challenge, right? And I'm not making eye contact. I'm watching my SportsCenter. Nothing to see here, people.
Blood is boiling.
And I'm like, this son of a bitch is eating my crackers. So we finished the little charade 3-3. He gets a cracker, I get a cracker. Back and forth. Don't make eye contact. He drinks his beer, stands up, walks away. And I'm like, I can't believe this happened.
Right.
But really, I'm like kind of shaking because I don't know.
And you're probably stuck in that, like, I should do something, and now I'm upset at myself that I didn't confront this guy. But
totally.
It's like, I don't want to make a scene over
Nailed
3
it,
crackers,
right.
but
It's
God,
like
am I a man or not? Right.
So the bartender, so I have to tell something. The bartender comes around the corner. I'm like, did you see what just happened? So I had to tell the story to the bartender.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, that's messed up, man. It's like, maybe you should go confront him. Maybe go and tell him that, hey, you know, those were my crackers.
Those were my 3
Those
crackers.
were my crackers that you took.
You owe me 74 cents.
Yeah, back then, it was like, in the airport, it was like,
Okay,
inflation.
you owe me $5.
You owe me $5 for the crackers. So I'm like, no, because 2 things will happen. I'll go to my gate, and I'll be on the plane with him. Or next to him on the plane.
Yeah,
It'll be super
how it goes,
awkward.
right.
I'll just have a pretty cool story to tell all my friends, right?
That's the end.
Pretty crappy. So I and I said that to the bartender. So I decided, okay, I know I've got to go. We're boarding, and so I pay my bill and everything. I pick up my USA Today and I throw my backpack over my shoulder, and I look on a bar top, and there's a package of crackers sitting on the bar top. Right where I put them. Oh! I had eaten that dude's crackers.
Like an asshole.
Like a total douchebag. And, like...
That's not where I thought that was going at all.
Yeah. And the second one, throwing it in my mouth, like, good I'm an asshole. Like, major asshole.
Right.
So... I always, about 10 years ago, I started to add this little add-on at the end. It's like, this guy could be sitting around having a dinner with friends.
On a podcast.
You could possibly. Talking about this guy that ate his fucking crackers. Like, he was this total asshole douchebag. And it's like, this guy. Like, it's true. It's true. Someone, I can't even tell that story anymore. I can't be the asshole. I'm not the asshole. I'm the asshole. He's not the asshole. I'm the asshole. Right. So it's kind of, I'm saying asshole a lot, but it's appropriate, right?
Well, Sean?
Well, Marc Miller, you're an asshole. There, I got it out. I call every guest asshole. I've been kind of failing the last two.
You forgot a couple, so
yeah.
Sorry about your luck, Mark.
Yeah,
you can add those.
You, I'm fine with. Yeah.
You want me to add it? Who's the guest?
I didn't do it with
Janet Guthrie.
You want me to call Janet Guthrie an asshole? That would be
sweet 78-year-old Janet Guthrie.
I didn't call her or Brad Kettler or Mike.
At one point in her life, she was probably an asshole to someone.
I think she would call herself an asshole.
Yeah.
I think everyone's an asshole to someone at some point.
Oh, she definitely was. Yeah, she's ruthless. Yeah. So I'm holding here a gift we brought you to show you how much we don't care about you.
Don't appreciate me?
Don't appreciate you. Last year on our trip, the first day, we drove through Selma, Alabama, a very historical part of the world, and we ate at
Laney's
Barbecue,
yeah,
which was exciting.
Yep.
And
good tasting.
Yeah, it was delicious and very
friendly,
very local.
Yeah,
local is probably a good way of putting it. And so we bought 3 jars of their glass jars of their barbecue sauce.
We probably dropped like $80 in barbecue sauce.
Yeah, we're probably the first 3 to buy.
You're killing it with the $2.99 barbecue sauce right now.
What we do is we give this to the guests that were like, let us come to their house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So,
is this just like one of those like trophies that we'll give you this now and then we'll send you a nice Laney's barbecue?
Not at all.
No, God,
no. This is all you get. No. Okay, so it not only is it barbecue sauce, it's Meyer original, so it's the store brand. It's literally the worst.
You don't have to explain that to me.
Okay, well, the listeners have to know.
Yeah.
I could have described that to them.
Yeah, so this is essentially the Safeway brand barbecue.
It's the least impressive barbecue sauce we could have found.
But we didn't want to come up.
But it's actually quite good if you've ever had it.
Well, good times, because you can enjoy this whenever you want.
I'll re-gift that for Christmas.
Yeah, there you go. So,
and we brought you a pumpkin.
And we brought you a pumpkin.
The pumpkin is pretty awesome.
So should we tell them the real story?
I think we should tell them the entire real story.
Yeah,
since it's not going to happen. And if it does happen while we're
then
recording
we called
this,
it. Yeah,
we called it, but also fucking well played, Bill Riley.
So we bought 2 pumpkins.
There's one for Bill?
There's one in
Yep.
There's one in the car right now. Handwritten note on it.
To Bill Riley, because we had this sneaking suspicion he was going to be here waiting for us.
No, he won't come.
And we wanted to show we were ready for it.
Well, it's funny that you said he won't come to your house, because the original plan that he came up with last year, which we were like until a month ago all about doing, was no, this is our fault. He was the one that he literally cornered me at Lime Rock, and he's like, "You need to let me know what's going on, because I got to book flights. I'm testing in Europe." With the P2 car. I was like, hey, let me get back to you about my podcast.
And congratulations for being an ass.
Yeah. So his plan was we were going to eat here at your house.
Yeah.
We were going to order a pizza on our treat. And he was going to fly up here, deliver the pizza, not make his presence known, and leave. That's it. That was his game plan.
That was the whole thing.
He's like, and then we'll tell him, we'll have a camera on me, and like you guys go to the door and pay for the pizza. Don't let Mark know. And then this is my Bill Riley, by the way. And then I'll tell him like a month later. We'll show him the pictures and the video. And I was like, hell yeah, we'll do that.
That's his style, totally.
So,
and that would have been a complete douche thing. I'd have been so upset.
So that was his plan, and we were like, we're totally gonna do that. And then like a month ago, we're like, dude, we don't even know we're gonna be there. So just book the whole month open in Michigan.
Yeah, I mean, just to be clear to you and our audience, we can't book things until like 2 days in advance.
Right, because if somebody can't make it or something, there's so much things that are going on. Despite everyone, like you were probably the most
flexible.
Well, also you like burned me down last year about season 1, and
I just made casseroles. That's all I did.
Okay, here's the deal. So you came up to me at Road Atlanta Petit Le Mans last year, and you were like, "Hey, we got to do some stuff like outside of the track. Like you and I need to do something like for the fans, like some sort of thing.
Yeah,
And-
not the silly bathroom
and,
either.
Hey, the bathroom vines are a big hit. I don't know how we bring those up on the
Does
website. but
Vine
we'll get
still
them.
going?
I have Vine. I haven't opened the app in like a year. Like the last time I opened it was
We
probably
still
for
have
you.
one more episode.
We do.
That
We do need to finish it out.
Yeah.
So,
May go to jail after that one.
so Mark comes up to me at Road Atlanta, and the podcast note is going to be released that day in the Continental Press junket that goes out to all the media, but not the public.
Oh yeah, this is what I was like.
You're
Well,
you
I was so
Yeah,
mad.
this was
He comes
last
up-
year, right?
Yeah, this is Road Atlanta. He comes up to me. This is days before we go on the road. And he's like, hey, we got to do something. Like, I don't know what we got to put together, but you and I need to work on some stuff. And I'm like, totally, man, totally. And in my head, I'm like,
Yeah, this is gonna come back to haunt you.
we got a thing that I can't really talk about. So I'm like, I'll just not say a word. And I'm like, yeah,
That's
totally,
like what
totally.
Bill Riley would have done.
Yeah. And then like an hour later, you came up with like the email on your phone. You're like, what the Eversley? I was like, sorry. And he's like, I'm not even on it. I'm like, we already have our guest. I'm sorry. He's like,
You're
"What?"
not important enough.
You're like, we talked about this 2 hours ago. You couldn't mention it. Like,
So speaking of dumb,
We're going there already.
No, I didn't grow up in a corn eating family. Is this how you do it? You guys cut
No, but I saw her do it. I've never done this
I'm
before.
about to say, like, I thought
Yeah.
you just turned like you
So
eat
well,
like the
I
chef.
was-
So I've been eating
so-
like an animal.
So you're
over
saying
here.
you can eat, but
But is it like, am I doing it okay?
Yeah, no,
okay.
that's how
'Cause,
I would
like,
do
this
it.
just seems so proper what you're doing. I've
No.
never seen somebody actually cut off.
well,
the
we also
slivers.
eat our Snickers bar with a fork and a knife.
Okay,
No,
that's
very-
weird.
that's proper.
No,
weird.
so
So okay,
I sliced it off because I saw
so you go down the
Tab
side
and,
here.
and
Oh,
Ryan do it.
I've never done that before, ever.
So I don't usually do it, but this microphone is really messing up
Messing up
the
your corn
feng
gun.
shui.
Hey, yeah, I'm sorry. This microphone that makes you on the podcast
So
is
well, no,
screwing your
it's-
game up.
It's all
man.
right. I mean, I can eat the corn if I.
If
Okay.
you screw up my microphone.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll send you the bill.
So to explain what's
So-
happening, we took Tabitha, Mark's lovely girlfriend, took the corn cob, stood it up on its end, and then sliced down the side of
Yeah.
it,
I've
like
never
slicing
seen
meat
this.
off the side of a
Right.
of a roast.
Yeah, it's like we're at a Brazilian steakhouse, but it's corn. Right.
I was like, that actually looks.
Oh, we got the Fogo de Chao corn.
I'm like, I'm
It
gonna
seems
try
so
that.
proper.
Well, there's nothing in my teeth right now.
Well,
you
and
know,
there
I'm
is
like,
with
I'm
me.
like,
I was
oh,
actually,
winter.
I was
Yeah.
literally just thinking because I got to go change my laundry.
Oh,
And I was literally,
and we're so out of.
yeah, I was literally wondering, like, do they have floss in there that I can just sneak out of? But
You're
I
gonna
have some.
we're
I have
gonna
some
steal the
floss.
floss.
I was not the whole thing, but I was definitely going to steal some floss.
We weren't gonna ask.
No, I was just going to do it. Yeah, I was absolutely going to just do it.
We try to not have any waste in this house, so
Sure.
I've got floss that I've got left over from this morning. If you can.
Hey, as long as if it was the other way, I'd say you're going to get the hurt. But
Oh, I don't want that again.
Can't catch it twice.
Yeah.
So, Mark, you're a father.
I am
Yeah.
twice.
go.
All right.
What, you have dad questions?
I have dad issues.
You not.
No wonder.
No, what I wanted to bring up was, I'm sorry, I can't remember their names. Evan
Yeah.
and
Ralph. Seth.
Seth. Sorry. Evan has autism.
Evan, my oldest. has
Your
autism.
oldest. How old is he? Like 12?
12.
Yeah.
Well, you're right. You're
I
killing
got
it.
some.
High five.
Yeah. Sorry, names kind of.
My son was diagnosed. We self-diagnosed him, really.
Okay.
You can kind of tell. The toughest thing is coming to realization.
Mm-hmm.
It's like coming to terms with this is a real issue. So you go. There was the internet back then, so I was reading about autism online, and all the things that he was doing at a year and a half, and just that was it. Lost it.
Right.
This is what am I going to do? Because you have the first thing you do is you have all these visions of a 30-year-old in your house that you're
Having
having
to
to
take
take
care
care
of,
of,
right.
and what happens when I'm not here, and who's going to take care of them, but that lasts for 2 hours, and you've got to pull your boots on and
Yeah.
wade through the and get on with it.
Right.
You get on with the day.
So he was diagnosed very early.
He was diagnosed at 2. They can't really diagnose until after 2. I mean, but we kind of knew that he had autism. But, the upside is that one of the reasons why I love living here, like I love being in Holland and west side of Michigan, it's a really nice place to live. But the surrounding programs that we had were so good that, I mean, he went into early on. He was in therapies. They were state funded. They were, it was a great program. And then we got involved with an organization called Autism Society of West Shore, which is a organization that I still give to every year and do things with. We just recently, a couple weeks ago, had a charity golf tournament.
What's the website?
Autism, asws.org.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
ASWS.org.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that program, is something that gives back directly to the families in West Michigan that need it. So they put scholarships together. They have programs. They have movie nights. They do things where you're immersive with other families that are involved. Because, when you have a child that has autism, it's difficult. It's less difficult for the child.
Sure.
Most of the time. It's more difficult for the parents
Sure.
because they're concerned about it.
Right.
So that was the biggest thing, is to be around parents that are like,
And kind of build that support
hey,
network.
yeah,
Right.
This is life. Deal with it.
Right.
Here are the things that you can do and not do, and but because of all of that, Evan started middle school this year. He's doing great in school. He's super intelligent. He's a great kid. He has his challenges, but all kids do. So, sometimes I try not to hold both the kids separately.
Sure.
Seth, being a lot like me, is more atypical. He's more like a normal kid, but at the same time, he's also like me, which is kind of scary.
And he's younger?
And he's 10, yeah. So he just turned 10. So, and he's had to act like the big brother at times, and he takes that role on like a champ.
No problem.
He's just awesome. And bless you.
Thank
But for me, it's just part of it. It's not.
You don't even think about it now.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
So, but they're going to get, they're 10 and 12. So, but they're going to get to that age where they're going to start being smarter than dad and have attitude.
Oh no,
And then
they're there.
But you're going to be traveling. So, I would, what the hell do I know? I'm not a dad, but I would argue they're going to start getting to the age where dad being gone a lot might get them in more trouble than they maybe are right now.
Yeah, I mean that's always a difficult thing. So I'm divorced, they live with their mom more, but I travel a lot. It's part of the thing. But one of the great things about doing what I do is when I do come home, I'm 100% there.
Right.
And this was actually one of the few weekends out of the year, like few as in 3 or 4, that I am in my home and they're not here on the weekend that I'm home.
Last night, probably 18 hours ago, we were 6 beers deep with Mike Shank, and by we I mean Ryan and Mike.
Yeah,
it was in this very beleaguered state.
it was cute.
It was cute.
I don't really even remember his question, but he was thinking real hard to come up with what questions to ask you.
Yeah.
Oh, because he doesn't know who I am?
No, because at that
He
moment
doesn't.
he didn't know who he was.
Sorry, Mike. Sean said it. No, he.
So this is going to be a really bad question.
No, here's the deal. Mike Shank knows exactly who Bill Riley is,
Oh, yeah.
and Bill Riley knows exactly who Mike Shank is.
Oh, yeah.
So this question was pretty he was like, "Oh, I got it. Yeah, okay, I'm ready." We're like, "All right, what's the
Is
question?"
this
He's like,
question for Bill Riley or for Marc Miller?
for you, but let me finish.
Oh,
Can I finish?
man. Yeah, you can finish.
He's like,
Bill, I'm sorry.
he goes, "Give me 3 reasons why I drive for Bill Riley. Like, why do you think Bill's so great?" Just like that.
Really?
With the head
That's what I
shaking and
said.
everything. He's like, what's
What's
the deal?
the deal?
Holy crap, man. Why wouldn't I drive for Bill Riley?
But that's not an answer.
Yeah, no.
Um,
give
Give
me
me 3 good ones.
Okay,
3
now pretend
reasons?
you're not on the podcast.
He said 3
and
good
he's
reasons,
totally
right?
gonna
No, that's
hear
what I mean. Why wouldn't I?
Well, and
Seriously.
here's the thing. He said 3 good reasons, right?
it. No, he said, "Give me 3 reasons."
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Never mind.
So
Why does
well,
he think he's so great?
if I'm going to give 3 reasons, they're all going to be good.
Well, I'm just saying we
Such
could
a
be the
kiss
judge
ass.
and jury on
Such
what's
a
good.
kiss ass.
Like, because you could give 3, but we could say that's not actually a good one and veto it.
You probably could.
So-
So
Mark,
one,
say these
but
three-
Ryan,
say these
Ryan,
3 words.
Ryan will, yeah, Ryan will attest to this. I talked about it earlier. When you meet someone in the paddock that you have that like connection or bond
gel,
with,
sure.
Yeah.
and you gel with, you keep working with them. And for Bill, the moment I met him, it was like he's just a good person. So I had a lot of opportunities racing in the last 20-some years to make a lot of phone calls and ask a lot of people a lot of questions. And Bill is a guy at least once a year I would have a question for, and I would make a point to even when I wasn't doing anything.
Bullshit. Give me another one.
You can't veto that one. That's a true answer.
No, not good enough.
Get this man something to drink.
Not having it. Next.
2.
Reason number 2.
Reason number 2.
I'd say, have you ever looked into his eyes? But I am right now, and
It's
goddamn scary.
It's
I'm
pretty
lost.
scary.
Yeah.
Terrified
I'm
right
lost
now.
every time I look in his eyes.
So we're driving down the road last night, and
Yeah.
was this last night or the night before?
I don't know.
It was pretty. It's blurring.
It was
together.
actually the night before.
Yeah,
it was on the way to.
Oh god, it's like
Ohio.
a 14-hour drive from Nebraska to Ohio. You said you've done
Yeah.
that. It's awful. Yeah. And Sean kind of looks at me like kind of weird. Like I look over and he's got this weird look on his face, like, huh. And I don't say anything. And a minute later, or maybe 10 minutes later, he like looks at me again like that. I'm like, what? And he goes, I think I'm getting tired, but I keep thinking Bill Riley's actually right behind me. He's like, I keep seeing him.
Like I keep seeing it because it's like dark. We've just got enough light coming into the van. That,
Can
like,
I keep this?
No, you can't keep this.
Why can't I keep this?
We need him for the rest of the show.
Yeah.
We'll get you one.
I want one of
I
these.
gave you a $100
Yeah.
bill. I could have given you a 20.
The money we saved.
That's
in,
true. I did get the $100 bill.
The money we saved in dinner tonight
But I'll
does not
spend that.
value the money we spent on
Because
this mini
that
bill.
guy is priceless.
Yeah. And adorable.
You want me to finish the number 2?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead. Do whatever you want to do. It's your podcast.
Okay, so legitimate answer.
Says you.
Everything's so subjective nowadays. Having worked
Like driver rankings.
Yeah. Having worked with the program, his program, and knowing how he runs everything,
Yeah.
I can't have any more respect for him. And
Yep.
you want to race for people you respect in every way, that you know does every single thing to put the best possible product on the track.
Sure.
And they do that. And it's not just about Bill. You know, like Bill's great, but he surrounds himself with really good people.
Right.
And they do an awesome work. And you know, you look at if you look at that, I mean, as a driver, you want to be in a program that you can you want to stay in. And you know, the Raleigh program is a great program. I couldn't think of any other team I'd rather race for, and that's a legitimate answer before I got an opportunity with them.
Right. Sure.
So
Not good enough. Another one.
I don't. Third one is just he makes me laugh my ass off. The guy's
Alright, see, that
funny
one's
as
okay.
shit.
Okay, so that's
That's
one
an
answer.
acceptable
You got two
answer.
more.
Yeah, you got two more to go.
He would eat all of this barbecue sauce, no matter how cheap it is.
He would just drink it.
You drink it because
Yeah.
that's what
In
Bill
one
Riley
take.
does.
Yeah, he'd shotgun it.
He'd take a knife,
Yeah.
puncture the side of it, suck it out like blood.
Exactly.
Yeah, then go run a 5K or something.
And anybody who gets a pedicure once a year, whether
he
he
really?
needs it or not.
Holy shit, that's true.
Yeah, true story.
Why once a year?
Whether he needs it or not.
He just doesn't.
He does.
It's his annual
You
November
treat
pedicure.
yourself.
Treat yourself.
Yeah.
So I would call this a banner year. You know, winning in GS, got to do the NAEC, Le Mans
Lamar.
for the second goddamn time.
Yeah.
Not the entire NAEC.
Oh,
I didn't do
was
Watkins
you-
Glen.
Oh,
oh, right.
Yeah.
Why not? They just didn't want 3 drivers.
They
They didn't want you to have a
two
chance at
driver.
that championship.
Two
Bill-
drivers.
Bill's like,
playing.
I got to keep you down. Just
Yeah, that's
one
right.
Peg.
Just-
Just one peg
right.
down. But yeah, big year. We haven't really talked about CJ at all, but we had him on the show last year, and he was an okay guest. We didn't mind him too much. He was late.
he was actually the latest guest we've ever
Yeah,
had.
he was
How late was he?
Mr. Hollywood.
Oh, we were super early too. That was like it made it.
Oh,
easy.
well, so that was your fault.
No, he was late to
he
call
was
time.
Way late. Yeah, but he's taking care of you.
CJ's been awesome.
He's the man.
Yeah, he's been great. He really is a smart guy. He's really he overdoes everything.
Sure.
You know, he's in Germany right now. I mean, he's expanding his dealer network. He's, you know, I don't know, he speaks like 5 languages.
Yeah.
He's married to a beautiful, funny woman who happens to be a swimsuit model. And,
Right.
Naturally.
You know, new dad.
Don't we all know this?
Yeah.
He really is falling on tough times.
One
You know?
day it'll come good for him.
But yeah, one
Yeah.
day. You know, one day if he
If
works
keeps-
real
keeps
hard.
working at it. Yeah, keep your chin up. You'll be okay.
But no, he's just been really good to work with, and it's not just him. You know, it's Andrew Slavens is the GM of the race program.
That's 2 names Not
His
one-
2 names,
yeah.
Andrus Lavens.
There you go.
His 1 name.
Yeah.
Not Andrus and
What's
Lavens.
the first and last name?
It's first and
It made it
last
sound
name,
like he
yeah.
was Prince or something.
You know, I have to think, because CJ is not like day to day.
Sure.
So,
He's part-timing it. We get it.
yeah, he phones it in sometimes.
I can see.
But when he does show up, I mean, that's when you want to be. I always want to be at my best at the events, and when he shows up, you know, obviously you need to show up too, because it's ultimately it's his call. You know,
To keep
whether
doing this.
to keep
Yeah.
doing
Yeah,
it,
absolutely.
and for me, it's not just performing on track, but we try to do a lot of the commercial side of motorsports.
Because he ties in his dealerships with this.
Yeah,
He ties in
I
all
mean,
his other.
and we have a lot of marketing partners. We're trying to be in GT all the time. We're
Yeah.
trying to be in something, in the WeatherTech series. And we're trying to be, continue to move up the ladder. And when we're doing that, it puts a lot of weight on the drivers too.
Right.
You can't just have, you don't just show up and bring your helmet bag and get it done. We've got conference calls every week. We have plans. We have marketing.
And that's why I assume you're a good fit with this team, because like you were talking about earlier, you've been down this road long enough. You
Yeah.
know the game, and you've got the patience for it.
Yeah, the patience is a bitch.
How good are you at PowerPoint?
Really good at PowerPoint.
Okay.
Better at Illustrator and PDF. And
Who's better, you or one?
Yeah, that was my next question. What's that?
One's PR. PR doesn't do PowerPoints as much.
You're saying PR doesn't do shit, aren't you? You were
Oh.
about to say
Yeah.
it.
PR.
So he doesn't do a
PR
lot.
is. I was a PR major.
So
Were
Declan,
you a PR
Marketing
major?
Yeah, PR major. That's a management of
That's not-
perception.
Okay.
That is not actual graphic design. That's not development.
So what you're saying is Declan doesn't do anything.
Has no skill set. I said, just want to know this.
So did you really make us a casserole last year?
No, I didn't make you a casserole.
What was that thing you showed us then? There's a picture.
Yeah, I said
You made a casserole and said it was for us?
Well, I had taken a picture of casseroles that I made with my kids for Thanksgiving,
Okay.
Okay.
and
So you used your kids
Yeah.
against us.
Deploy to get on a podcast.
To get
No,
on a
no,
shitty
actually, I
podcast
used the
for
casserole.
listeners.
I used the casserole against you.
Sean, who would you pick to play Marc Miller in a movie just on physical appearance?
On physical appearance.
I know two. There's
I know
two in
my
mind.
answer.
There's two
Wait,
actors
this
in
is
mind.
what kind of movie are we talking
Any
about?
movie.
Any movie.
Like who would you pick to play him?
To me, that's actually kind of obvious.
Okay, who do you got?
But of course, as soon as I say that, I can't think of his name.
Name of the movie he was
name
in.
of
Hurt Locker.
Yeah, Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's you've got to always get Jeremy Renner. Is
Yeah.
there
I
any
get
other
that
option?
a lot. Yeah, I get. Do you know?
Go ahead. No.
The James Bond, the latest James
Yeah,
Bond.
that's
yeah,
mine.
okay.
Daniel Craig.
Yeah, Daniel Craig, yeah.
I could get it. More Jeremy Renner
Yeah.
to me.
Then I looked
Yeah.
at Daniel Craig and I was like, he's much older than me.
That guy is so ripped.
But they're both handsome devils. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like
Thank you.
those are two.
How can but you put me next to Bomarino and Kuno Widmer and all those other guys. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, but I'd rather drink with you. Have you raced at Newcastle?
Yeah.
When was the last time? Or were you there?
2010, I ran Pan Am and the Rotax Grand Finals. Almost had to start last for the finals and came all the way up. I almost made it to the World Finals.
Which
again.
category?
DD2.
What series? I mean, what,
The
whoever.
U.S. Rotax
Yeah,
Grand
yeah,
Nationals.
Rotax, right.
Were you there that day, Sean?
That was 09. I was there. CKI, which is now
That was
defunct, I
10.
believe. No, CKI was in. I did the first ever CKI race in 09,
Oh, okay.
and broke my leg.
Ow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was awesome.
Yeah.
Femur?
No,
No
just
bone
all-
marrow came out?
No bone marrow came out.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. That was actually doing camera work. Wasn't karting.
Someone run over you?
Yeah.
Yep.
Who was it?
No, I'm not. I'm totally.
No, why haven't we?
Why would
have
I
we
know?
never?
We've never called this piece of shit out.
No. So, yeah. Well, here's the thing, because
Was it your fault or his fault?
I'm gonna go with his fault. I was standing in a place. 'Cause just like race
It
car
was the
drivers,
parking lot.
Just
I
like
don't know
race
how he
car
got his
drivers,
cart out
yeah,
there.
just like race car drivers, cameramen never admit to being at fault for anything. I was standing in a place that was allowed, whether it was the smartest place to go, I don't know.
But wasn't
And-
it pretty far away from where the
Yeah,
dude left
I
the
was
road?
way far away from the
Yeah.
straight.
Yeah.
But you know how like
because cameras zoom nowadays.
yeah, exactly. No, I was in a good place, but my back was. But the problem is, like, you know how like Newcastle, it circles around itself,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so there's the grass in the middle.
It's like a series of paper clips.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like the grass. There's the grass in the middle.
Yeah.
And I picked the centermost place that you're way far away from the actual pavement,
Yeah.
But in theory, it doesn't matter where you're standing.
Your
Your
back
back
is
is
to
to something. You know?
Right.
And that was what happened
I
to me.
heard stories of this.
Of
the
me?
guy getting run
Yeah,
over?
his feet flying up in the air.
No way!
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
me.
that was you.
Yeah,
Yeah, there
100%
may
me.
be pictures of you with your
Oh,
feet up.
I hope that's true. I want to
Dude,
find them.
How do we get those?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I will
I
spend money.
I remember
need
that.
this.
Oh, no, it goes a step further.
I'm pretty sure we can get them for free.
If you want to hear the
I'll
truth,
spend money.
the truth is I don't know who hit me, and here's why I say
Oh, that son of a bitch.
that. You know, because here's why I say
he
this.
doesn't remember anything.
Because I thought I knew because we were in the ambulance together, but it was another guy. So the whole time I thought it was Ari May. I don't know if you know that guy.
Yeah, I know Ari.
Yeah, Ari. He's
Yeah.
a really good kid.
Yeah.
But for like every time I'd be kind of because like he and I ended up being in the same circles. He does a lot of work in New Jersey. I was doing video stuff over there,
Okay.
et cetera, et cetera. So I'd always tell people like, that's the fucking guy. That's the fucking guy.
Yeah.
And at one point, and I guess it got back.
I
to
used to
him.
think he was a good kid. Now he's an asshole.
I was
Guy's
like,
a
that's the guy that took me
douchebag.
out because I remember like
Ari
I remember
is a douchebag.
because I was in so much pain. I was trying to joke it off.
Yeah.
So like
Merely a flesh wound.
So we get we get in the ambulance together. I'm like, hey, what you in for? Like just trying to
Yeah.
be funny to like
Wincing
distract-
at the same
yeah,
time.
just
It's
distracting
like,
myself from
don't
what's
do this,
going
man.
on. And and of course he'd since forgotten about me. But I guess I talked about him so much that word got back to him. And at one point I was like, I'm going to tell this kid that like he ran me over.
Hey, you piece of shit.
I was like,
Yeah.
hey, you know, he was like, and he like before I even get to like word
goes,
four,
"No."
he goes, that wasn't fucking me. Like, he's just like, Jesus, all right.
It's like, I was in there because I had a
Yeah.
cut.
Yeah.
They were just putting
My
some Bactine on my finger.
My stomach hurt.
Now, and if Ari was telling me correctly, and I could be getting it wrong, I swear he said it was Ryan Finney.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been
No
great.
way.
No, I could be wrong. That's
No
the thing.
You should
I-
call up
I
Finney's
swear it
mom.
was Ryan Finney.
No way.
Might have
This
been.
got so good.
We should ask
I think
Ari.
his mom's
Ari will
name's
tell you.
Gina, right?
But we can say it was.
But
just to
from
make
now
for a
on,
good
it's
dramatic
at
effect.
Ryan Finney. At Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan Finney is he's a cold-hearted killer.
Yeah, he murdered somebody like Johnny O'Connell tried to murder Dario Franchitti. You know that one.
I do now, yeah.
Yeah.
I looked it up on Wikipedia.
Ooh,
I
we
should
totally build a Wikipedia.
The question is it on Wikipedia, audience?
Why is there no Dinner with Racers Wikipedia page?
Because I'm a little busy. Why,
No,
I don't know.
no,
Ryan.
I'm not-
Stop looking at me.
Hey, asshole! I don't mean it like that. I mean for future plans.
PR
Why don't
guy.
you do more
But-
stuff, dude?
You know, it's a communication breakdown right there. What happened?
Yeah, you got it.
shouldn't
You
have
got
formed it as a question. You should have said, you know what? We really should have a
Yeah.
Wikipedia page.
Yeah, but that's almost shittier to him because he's like, should we?
Yeah,
Should we?
Oh, yeah.
Back at you.
So how do you do the Wikipedia? Because I actually tried to.
Oh, did they turn you
do-
down because you weren't famous enough?
No,
Oh, I did.
I didn't even try.
I had one years ago.
I didn't even try.
Oh, no,
But
no.
how do you do it?
You just write stuff and then you have to
Yeah.
cite it. Like they do have.
I
people
thought
that
you
will
weren't
look
supposed to do it yourself. I was
Well,
willing to hire
so funny
somebody.
you say
Somebody
that.
did one for me and it was wrong, so I fixed it. And then
Oh,
I
you
came
can
back like
fix
a
it.
month later and it was wrong again. I'm like, who?
Did they go back and they
who
put it back
checked
to where it was?
No.
You
They
have
changed
great
it to something
fans.
completely different. And this was like when I was doing ST. So
Oh.
I'm like, who's doing this? Like, yeah.
Oh, we keep thinking it was Ryan Schmeversley.
My birthday gift to myself a couple of years ago was I was going to create myself a Wikipedia page and then like no hear me out and then when everybody
I don't know if I want to hear that.
and then when everybody went on Facebook to be like happy birthday, I wanted my first thing to be like, if you want to give me something for my birthday,
Contribute.
update my Wikipedia for me, you
Right.
know, and just see what random facts came out.
Wow.
We actually have a history of Wikipedia stuff.
Yes, we do.
During the
That's actually where I got the idea.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So during the
Yeah.
Magnus webcast a couple of years ago, who were we calling out?
Yakiman's Wikipedia page got updated, but it was really Peter Barron that got the brunt of it.
Okay.
His stayed. Like Yakiman's got changed back, probably from him.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But
We
yeah.
basically during the
Drivers
race,
flip out.
Oh, and Shane Van
Thanks.
Gisbergen.
I can't imagine Peter really caring.
Mid race, we basically on this webcast that gets like 100,000 views over the course of the race. We were like, hey, if anybody's bored right now, go ahead and Shane Van Gisbergen or Yakiman's Wikipedia,
Yeah.
and people did it immediately.
Yeah, wasted
and,
no time.
And like screen grabs were being sent to us. We're like, Easy does it.
See,
Easy
that's
does
another
it. Yeah.
reason where you want to be nice in.
So
in
here's the
paddock
deal.
is So
Our
there's
gift to
less
you-
number of people.
Yeah, no, we would have never thought to say those names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Van Gisbergen was cool though. We didn't.
Yeah.
We liked him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We were trying to get him on the show.
We were just trying to get him on.
He
That's
wouldn't
all that
come,
was.
so
Yeah.
then it became this like stalker-like pursuit that freaked him the out.
Yeah, we went to a dark place on that one.
Yeah. That I'm personally never recovering from. Apparently, you guys are cool.
I'm fine with him.
Yeah, every time I try
Well,
to introduce myself,
he-
he's like, "Yeah, right."
Yeah, he thought we were totally like
Being
dogging on
assholes,
him, like
yeah.
like screw that guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So-
we really wanted him on the webcast.
So somebody
I
did.
wore a suit at Le Mans.
Somebody.
Yeah,
oh,
there you
alright.
go.
How did it smell?
Like success.
Like must.
Yeah. It was long.
It was like Old Spice, Old Spice and pumpkin. So for Marc Miller's takeaway for his episode is that we need you guys listening to make a Wikipedia page for him.
Man.
Yeah. And what it should be.
It needs to be accurate.
Only things that were learned on this podcast, which you could reference, right?
Yeah, you could learn plenty on this podcast. Yeah, because this is a legitimate media source.
Yeah, this is legitimate source.
No, because where I was going with
Dinner with Racers.
Yeah.
when I tried to create mine, they turned me away because I wasn't famous enough,
Right.
To merit one because I couldn't cite any sources that I existed, and but technically because you have race statistics and whatnot that can be cited, but yeah, as stated on the Dinner with Racers podcast,
Which also needs a Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
If anybody listening wants to do that,
Yeah.
so Sean doesn't have to.
yeah,
You can
I'm
do
all
mine
in.
first.
But do Marc Miller first, please.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you can put anything you want on ours, but Mark's should probably be legit.
To an extent. Like, you always got to add.
I can
like,
change it,
There
right?
needs to be, like, one thing that's, like.
Right, it's gonna be just like yours. I'm gonna
whoa,
keep
whoa.
changing
So you have to
stuff.
say it on this podcast, though, to make it a real thing, right? That's how you
Yeah.
decide it?
Yeah.
So, like, what crazy one Marc
Whose
Miller
life
thing?
did you save?
Yeah. Who did you? Dario Franchitti.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
that's
pushed him
part
out of the
two.
way.
You were at Detroit.
Yeah.
When-
O'Connell almost took you out.
O'Connell,
too.
man, that son of a bitch. Yeah, I had to push Dario out of the way.
Yeah.
Skinned up my knee at the same
Mother-
time. There we go.
Gotcha.
Wikipedia away.
Tell the story how you almost lost a leg.
They were
In
just there. There's
Newcastle.
the go-karts.
Right, but you didn't tell the actual story, like
Oh,
the
yeah,
whole
yeah.
thing.
Well,
That
yeah.
When Ryan Finney ran you over
When
in a
Ryan
go-kart
Finney
race.
tried to kill me,
When
that
Ryan-
You know
was
what's gonna
legit.
happen. You know what's
Ryan
gonna
Finney
happen.
tried to kill you.
You know what's gonna happen is Ryan's gonna.
He's gonna come after me.
He's gonna be like, that wasn't.
No,
me."
that's what I'm saying. Like,
I
it's
didn't
just-
finish
it's
the
just-
job.
It was.
Buckler's behind him. I did it! I won!
You get a ride, kid. In an Aston Martin GS car.
Here's your invoice.
Yeah.
You owe me $50,000.
Anyway. No, so yeah, so like, but you've been to Newcastle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're ever in an ambulance in Newcastle, it's not the most reassuring thing, it turns
I
out.
think any ambulance in Indiana is
Yeah.
probably this is very similar.
A little state rivalry.
in
going on.
my flight, apparently I cut my lip.
So wait.
Yeah.
You're standing there. You're
So I'm
filming.
standing
in
there
another direction.
filming a bunch of people.
Oh, in your flight.
In my flight,
After getting hit by
after
the
getting hit
go-kart.
by a
Yeah,
go-kart.
okay,
Okay.
so start
Okay.
from the beginning.
Yeah.
You're filming.
So I'm
for
filming
a client.
for a client, a new karting series that is no longer around called CKI. It had just started.
Yeah.
And somehow I'm out.
It's
in
very
this-
short-lived.
Yeah, and I'm shooting in the middle grass there, clear of the track. But as we discussed, there is no real safe area in
Yeah.
that spot. Your back is kind of always to the track.
Sure.
So I was looking at the main straight. Two guys kind of tangled, and like legitimately tangled to the point they were hooked.
Right.
So going straight, and of course neither motherfucker is lifting. So, it's like, so of course they're going straight, headed to me.
That
Locked into
camera
each other.
guy's not our concern.
Yeah, that's kind of what
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, so they're locked, they can't turn, and there I am, and
Still on the gas.
yeah, they're on the
still on the
gas,
gas.
and so I can't even hear it because it's coming so fast.
Right.
Like I hear it when I get hit,
Yeah.
and
Meow.
yeah, that's
You
literally.
sound like a cat.
No, it was literally. I remember that because I remember the audio was like, like I heard myself
That
lose
was
my
you.
breath. Yeah. As I fly.
Oh, that's a blue sky.
Yeah, that's
yes.
and like, it really, like I hate sounding dramatic, but time really did slow down as
Yeah.
I'm flipping, and I'm just hearing like.
Those iPhone apps are
Yeah.
really nice. Like,
Um,
slow motion.
And my honest to God first thought was, oh shit, I got hit. Like I'm already midair, and it took me a minute to realize what happened.
Your second thought. Your first thought
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah. The third thought was like, am I really going to die to go
No, that's actually
Great. Not go karting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but not actually. Yeah, of course it says the fucking camera guy. So this is, but like that's how it's
cameraman named.
We all know
that
that's
go-kart
how it's
race.
gonna happen. Like
Right.
I'm gonna die by some stupid arbitrary thing that we all giggle at.
Yeah, it'll
10
be
years
me
from now.
falling asleep on this podcast driving down the street.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll be fine then.
So I'm flying through the air, and I'm literally hearing. And my first thought is, holy shit, I just got hit. And my second thought is, oh shit, I just got hit.
Because there were two cards.
Yeah.
You had to think about it twice. Yeah.
But
Who was in the other one then?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it was Ari. I don't
Yeah.
know.
It wasn't me.
It
Yeah.
wasn't me. I lifted.
Finney hit you first.
Yeah. Ryan Finney tried to kill Sean. Keep going.
Boom. Anyway, but no, I didn't think I was gonna die, but I legitimately thought I lost, like legitimately just lost a leg.
Right, like it's
like
gone.
they just took it with them.
Yeah,
It's
gone
like
forever.
Yeah.
Like cartoon.
So I land. I see both feet are fine, or
Well,
they're there.
attached.
They're attached. My
Yeah.
shoes are God only knows, but my feet are there.
Oh, your shoes will off.
Oh, my
One,
shoes went
is one
flying.
foot like pointing in a much different direction?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Well, actually, no. At first view, everything looked fine, and
Yeah.
I was given an old wives' tale that if you can wiggle your toes, nothing's broken. It's not true. I found out. No, it's not true. I promise you.
Yeah. After Sebring, I found that out too.
Yeah, exactly.
I wiggled lots of things, and they were all broken.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
You know.
ow.
It just means exactly.
Ow.
It just means you're not paralyzed,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like I'm like, oh, I'm fine, but I'm knocked out. I'll take a minute.
I'm fine.
yeah.
My shoes are gone.
My shoes are gone. I'll tell you.
You didn't sound like a barking seal. Like,
But after I realized my shoes were gone, my honest real thought was, "Where's my camera?" Like, cause
yeah.
like, oh,
'Cause
this is
I
not
need
only
'Cause you're a
hurts, but it cost me money.
Because you're a
exactly.
professional. We
I,
get it.
yeah, right. Yeah.
I hope I got that. I hope I got that shot.
It's still running. I'm gonna talk loud in case you can hear me. Anyway. But yeah, no, the flag guy comes up.
Bro, you okay?
He's like, "Hey, you all right?" I'm like, "I don't know," because like I really don't know. And he's like, "All right, you don't need an ambulance, right?" I'm like, "I don't know. Hold on,
hang on.
Let's
Yeah.
before
Wait.
we say that, I don't know." He's like, "Nah, you don't need an ambulance." I'm like, I might. I don't know. And at this point, I'm starting to see my foot get bigger.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. They're like, "All right, well, let's get you up."
Wait. You had the shoes come off?
Yeah,
They flew off.
they flew off.
Oh,
yeah.
you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big one.
No,
That's a big
they're
one.
we don't know where they are. Yeah,
man.
they're
You never got them back?
no.
Ari's got your shoes.
Yeah, he's signed.
Finney's got them
He goes,
gold
Finney's
dipped.
like,
He's
yeah,
like, I
exactly.
got
Finney
that.
hit you.
Yeah.
I may have kept your shoes, but Finney hit you.
They both have one each.
They wear it around their.
Yeah.
They got a chain.
Shoe buddies when we tried to kill that one asshole.
Anyway, yeah, they literally stand me up.
Hey,
onto
stand
my
on your
broken
feet.
foot. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was when I stood, I was like, oh shit, like that hurt. That was actually the
Yeah.
most, of the entire process, including like surgeries. The biggest pain was the moment I stepped on it. It was not there. So then they put me in the ambulance, and at this point I start coughing blood. Now it turns
Whoa.
out
Yeah,
it
hang
turned out it was just I cut my lip.
Oh, that's
But
Probably in your own knee.
yeah,
Yeah. You know, like,
but I did
maybe
not
one
know
of your
that.
shoes hit you in the face.
But I had zero clue.
So
So
the Wikipedia, you have to go to the Wikipedia
Yeah,
page
so
to find
when
out
you-
if the left shoe or the right shoe hit
when
you.
Sean exactly.
It's gonna be a debate. For
So
some time.
I'm literally riding in the ambulance, and we both the EMT / deputy,
right. And mayor.
and mayor.
for Newcastle.
He literally, I cough, and we both see the blood come onto my clothes as
Yeah.
I cough, and he literally looks at me and goes, "You better hope it's just your foot, because they can't do much for you where we're going."
Oh, that's
Yeah.
great.
It's like, all right, this is how it's gonna happen.
Thank you. Thank you for
You
pointing that
know,
out.
we're only 40 minutes from Indy. Just
Yeah.
keep driving.
Yeah. Nope.
Don't stop there.
Yeah.
No, they had to transfer me to another ambulance because they had to go back to the cart race.
Well,
So like, yeah, I'm in the middle of like an interstate.
Now-
so like putting me in the
me-
oncoming traffic.
meanwhile, there's 300 go-kart racers sitting on their go-kart tires going, that cameraman's a piece of shit.
yeah,
Get out of the way.
hating me.
We're going to be stuck here. Now
Yeah.
I'm not going to get home till like 8 o'clock
Yeah.
tonight.
I had to qualify.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, your client.
Yo, so our
This
client,
is
RJ Valentine. You know RJ?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Well, okay.
We're coming back to that.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
There's a
that
story
Griffin says
there.
there's a story. RJ, who I love. He's been a good
Do you?
client since. I do. I genuinely love that guy.
Oh, that's cool.
But
He's won the Daytona 500, I heard.
as did America. Anyway, so my partner Jason and we had another cameraman Tom, who was there with us. Literally, according to Jason, they shut the doors, and then RJ comes up, looks at Jason, says, "You got a plan B?" And Jason's like, "Yeah, we got another camera. We're okay." And Sean's fine.
Yeah.
So that's
Touching.
that's the charm of RJ. I actually like that guy.
Yeah, that too. That too. So you don't like RJ Valentine? Let's
Huh,
talk
so
about
let's
it.
talk about this.
He's not a fan of me.
Oh, really?
No.
Well, that's not okay.
No,
Well,
I mean,
he probably gets
the
your
thing
name
is,
wrong.
He called me Andy like 50 times.
Did he really?
Yeah, I was spotting for him, and Andy was the co-driver.
That's awesome.
at the same, like in the race.
And RJ, you're at Daytona.
Yeah, I was spotting for him at Lime Rock,
It's a left turn.
and I'm like,
it's
I'm
a
like,
left turn.
inside.
Now it's a
inside.
right turn.
He's like, thanks, Andy, appreciate it. Like, no,
Oh,
no,
no.
All right, cool. And then after the race, Andy's sitting next to him, and I'm sitting in front of him. He's like, Andy, that's the best spot I've ever had. And I'm like, is he talking to you or me? Like, I don't. All good. Check clear.
All right, so Marc.
Thanks, Andy.
Marc Miller.
Yeah.
What's your RJ deal?
So, obviously, I was involved with karting for years.
Yeah.
And he invested heavily in karting.
He started CKI.
Yeah.
See how that went.
Which
This-
ended up killing you. Or
Yeah.
almost
Yeah.
killing you.
Anyway,
Yeah.
go on.
Probably started it because someone pissed him off, and he.
Oh, that's right. You're involved with Rotax.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So-
Okay.
And then we became a Rotax importer. I was involved with a company called MRP, which is awesome family. Worked with them for 15, 20 years. They became a big big client of mine, and I would go train dealers and develop kart facilities, and they became one of the importers for Rotax. And at the time, it was RJ's company and then SSE West,
Right.
which
And
is
he had
he
SSE
bought
East,
half
right,
half of that, which I don't think they were technically able to even buy, but it's just a weird situation that he was in, and I would go and do consulting work at his track at New Jersey, and the general managers became a friend of mine, and I was like, I can help you. And as soon as my name came up, he's just like, nope.
Really? What's the beef?
I have no idea.
One
I
versus
think
the other.
the beef is he didn't like the boss I had.
Call him
so-
up.
Let's call him up. RJ. No.
Probably not. He wouldn't even remember.
I don't know how much he remembers anymore.
But that's okay. Guys like Bill Riley don't forget. You can tell in those eyes right there.
Yeah,
It's cold, dead eyes.
but also warm and sparkly.
Yeah, it's
And-
amazing.
And inviting,
And
but also
It's a cold and
Unfriendly.
dead, but also very lively and warm.
Yep.
he's got his head down but his chin up.
The highlight of it, did we tell this story? The highlight was, so that photo was taken by team photographer Brian Cleary.
Oh, you're gonna call him out?
He's fine with
Okay,
it. I think
all
he'd
right.
appreciate the nod.
Okay. Oh, in that case, thank
Yeah,
you so
I think-
much.
I think he would
Yeah,
res- I think he
I just didn't want to
appreciates
get him in trouble
I'll ask him, but
Okay.
I think Brian will be cool with it.
because we set this up.
Yeah, so this is a deliberate photo because like I asked Brian like, hey, you got anything in your archives?
Yeah. Bill doesn't
we
usually
didn't do
like
this.
his picture taken.
You know, that's the thing. And Brian's like, nah, probably not. And like he sends me thinking like, yeah, it's not what I'm looking for. So I'm like, nah, we kind of need to stage this. We kind of need to do the exact thing I'm looking for. And he's like, all right. And then I'm like, the only way this is gonna work is if I get like, he's like, I don't know that he wants to do it by himself. I'm like, all right, let's get Keating in on it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ben
so
will
you
get it.
had
So Ben is standing right next to him doing the same pose. That's what no one. That's what. Yeah, that's what you don't see.
I want
in
that
his cardboard
too.
cutout. Well, we can get it.
I want a card about Ben Keating.
We.
oh, it's there.
Yeah, it
You can
exists.
go to any one of his dealerships and probably grab one.
So
No
have
way.
you? Yeah. Oh, have you ever looked up Ben
we should
Keating's
go to one.
commercials?
Listen,
Yeah.
Ben Keating is one of the funniest guys
Yeah,
and
I
so animated.
I love the
If
guy.
You need to go on YouTube and search his Mayan
Yeah, I saw this one.
car. Like, it is the funniest stuff.
So like when the Mayan calendar ends and
Yeah.
chaos was going
Yeah,
to
yeah.
occur, he did a sale for it.
yeah.
Oh, as
Yeah,
you
it was
should.
like he did like an end of the world sale,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
like jumping around and
He's dressed as a Mayan.
yeah.
And he's like,
Yep, in the most offensive way
that
possible.
okay, or-
No, it's amazing.
it's Texas.
Yeah, about to say.
You can
It's
do
Texas.
anything in
When you're in
Texas.
Tomball, Texas, you can do
Yeah,
whatever you
you
want.
can do
so,
anything you want.
Now I'm excited we're getting to Ben Keating.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll get a Ben
Yeah,
Keating.
I want a Ben
Absolutely. We
Keating.
could just stop at the dealership.
Well,
what if Bill Riley we just
That's
swap
what I'm
him?
saying.
We'll
That's
just
what I'm
swap him.
saying. We're stealing Ben. We're taking. Yeah,
we'll just
exactly.
do it because like. What if they like call the cops? Yeah, this Honda came and they ran, and then it's like because Keating will drop the charges.
That's the thing.
Like we need to go to jail.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I want the phone call.
Yeah.
Of like, hey boss, yeah, it's Rick down at,
Yeah.
vice versa.
You got stolen.
These two guys just came and stole your cardboard cutout.
Yeah. but the weird thing is they left another guy.
They left a dude with your sponsor on his shirt.
Yeah.
Oh,
he
we're
looks-
doing this.
yeah,
we are
we're
100%
going to
doing
Texas.
this. Yeah, we're going through
We're
Texas.
He
totally
looks
going.
very cold-hearted, but very warm at the same time.
He's angry and happy at the same time.
The eyes of a shark that's in love.
He's piercing right through me. I have no soul anymore.
So I called to help him get him to set the shot up, and
Yeah.
also called Ben to like, are you okay with like a Viper Exchange shirt
being
Everywhere.
paraded around
Yeah,
everywhere
by a
with, on,
Honda guy.
on a Honda and Continental podcast, and he's all about it.
Yeah, he's like, yep, do it.
Yeah, he's like, there's two things that are true in marketing. One is that no news is bad news.
Yeah.
And two, people love cheese.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's serious. Like
Yeah.
he said that he loves cheese, and like if you look at his commercials, it shows.
We're getting Keating on, right?
Oh, we're doing
I want-
Keating.
I want
Absolutely,
Keating.
that guy's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
We did that cruise promo, the cruising with the
we're
monkey
aware.
cruise promo, and
We're aware.
we need to get a blow. We need to get a blow up of. Oh, you have pictures of it?
No, we
No,
have something else going on.
We have an
Oh.
idea.
We have a much better idea.
You can't
Okay,
know because
Yeah. You're gonna have to suffer through
yeah,
it.
one, you have to suffer through it, and two, like you don't want to know. It's so much in your best interest that you don't know. What
You'll probably figure it out.
You'll figure it out on photo too.
Yeah.
But
How
awesome.
long is the cruise?
this is the Cruising with the Monkey luxury cruise that's going on next spring. There's you and a bunch of people in the IMSA paddock that are going to be part of this, right?
The deal with the cruise thing is
It's like a chance for fans to go on vacation with some of their favorite drivers.
Yeah, our plan's to with you guys.
well, but will it help? It'll probably help.
It'll send one person on it.
You're giving it away. You're giving it away.
Oh, you fuckers are sitting around me on this cruise. Sons of bitches.
I told you gave it away. I told you gave it away.
This is not happening.
Damn it! Damn
He
it!
can't do it now. He's gonna know.
Okay, so we're driving late last
That's pretty
night.
awesome, though. I mean, I was actually joking about this. It's like people are going on the cruise.
Okay.
No, we thought
Well,
we gave a legitimate thought. To
We
this.
created a fake account.
Yeah.
We won't tell.
He's
what it
already
is.
probably going.
What's that?
He's probably already going. We're gonna have two rounds.
I'd be happy just to hand him the money at this point. Just like- so Sean and I were trying to decide in our
Oh, you
heads
get
while we're
picture
driving.
of Rawlings with Robbie on
Oh
both
no,
sides.
we don't care about him.
Nah.
We just wanted to.
It's the idea that you can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thought was at Daytona, everyone's like, yeah, and then he was standing outside my door again, and then I couldn't go to the bar because he's at the bar, and how did he even get there? And then we're just like, yes, made it happen. And like a year from now, we're gonna be like, oh, that was us. Let's call Bill Riley and have Mark hang up on him.
I thought about doing that.
What do you mean you thought we're doing it?
Yeah.
There's. I mean, he knows. He's like
would
waiting by
totally
the
know.
phone.
He's like, yeah, better call me.
Yeah, you know
He was
what?
immediately texting Shank last night.
Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah, he's like, yeah.
Actually, he might be mad because we never technically even told him we were here. I didn't do it. I never
He
told
doesn't
him.
even know.
No, he does. I never told him. 'cause
Oh
it
no,
was like-
wait. I think he does know.
Yeah, it's Bill.
Hello?
First ring.
Bill Riley.
Yes.
I have to apologize to you.
Yeah?
I told you that we'd let you know when we were going to go to Marc Miller's.
Oh, yeah?
And
Hey, guess what Sean's phone can do? Is that gonna make the show?
That's making the
that's
show.
it.
Okay, sweet.
That's it. That's the intro.
Yeah.
He's not calling back either.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Give it a
Let's
minute.
see. Let's
Let's
see.
give it a minute.
Now I'm gonna text him all night. I'm so sorry.
Please don't judge. That wasn't me.
I'm so sorry.
I don't even know if he knew that was my number.
He didn't know
If
who
he-
it was.
Yeah, and he took the first ring.
He did.
He's probably
He
waiting for an
fucking
important call.
knows.
He's
He
so
knows.
pissed. He was so pissed.
He knows. Oh man.
Now I'm gonna be worried about this all night.
Oh, glad we could have you on the show. Ruin your
Yeah.
career.
You're welcome.
We're
It
gonna need a
all-
sound guy next
it
year.
all-
We're getting bigger. We're getting bigger.
Yep.
How do you feel about driving a Honda Odyssey? We can get you that ride.
I don't know. I'll see if I'm too busy spotting for Bill.
I was telling that story to Mike Shank last night. He's like, "You better not be spotting for Bill." I was like, "Got him a Lamar ride." Like, now I'm worried about this. He's not calling back.
Yeah, this is you know, if all three of us are like, oh god, then he's won.
Fuck him.
Should
I'm
we
not
call him
saying
back?
Put your phone.
I know. I know.
Put your
I'm
phone
good.
away, Sean.
I have the least to lose. Like I'm not doing it.
I don't work
I'm
for
not
him.
going to get a ride. He's,
I don't
he's
work for
not
him.
hiring me for videos.
I don't work for him. He's gonna need spotters.
He's going to need spotters.
He's gonna need spotters. right,
Sure,
Mark?
as ain't going to be me. It's on you. You're
We're-
trying to text him, aren't you? Are you texting him?
We're literally.
Oh, he's texting him. Oh.
I'm so Riley whipped. Should I call him back?
What'd you text him?
I didn't text him. I
You
just
did.
was checking my texts.
Waiting for him to text you, and then get nervous that he didn't.
All right, I'll put him on speakerphone this time. He won't answer, but
Oh, that'd be even better. If he does that, he wins.
yeah, he definitely wins.
If he doesn't answer?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's won.
Speakerphone. Put it near the mic.
You win. We were waiting for you to call back, and now we all feel bad.
Well, I'm worried about how hard it is for the guys interviewing you, since it's probably the first interview that they've done where the person's in third person as they're talking.
Oh. Because Marc Miller doesn't do that kind of thing, does he?
Oh, my God. You want to do the voice again, don't you?
Let's talk about it.
What is this? Yeah.
I don't have to get in the form, though. Did he tell you guys about how he won Petit Le Mans and all that stuff?
Yeah, he said it was all him.
What's that?
He said it was all him.
It was all him, for sure.
You don't.
He's laughing right away.
All I can do is shake my head.
Do you talk in third person?
I never talk. When he does my voice, he talks in third person.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Let's hear it.
That interview you did like a month ago after you won Road America was borderline third person.
I didn't win Road America. This is how much you followed
No,
me.
I'm sorry, VIR. It's when you won VIR.
Hey, I won
It
VIR.
was borderline third person.
Borderline?
A Marc Miller comes
Yeah.
in to win.
When Marc Miller puts his mind to something.
Yeah.
Marc Miller wins.
Yeah. But Marc Miller says I'm going to go to Le Mans twice. Marc Miller goes to Le Mans twice.
We're going to have to cut all this out.
It's going in. It's going in.
He's so happy.
Yeah, I think did you guys have to sign something where Marc Miller has exclusive rights to edit his interview?
Oh, God, no.
He's actually the only person that doesn't get
unlike
to
mine.
edit his. Unlike mine.
Yeah, right. The story that you begged not to go in went in,
Can we talk about the approval process for the poo story?
What's that?
Can we talk about the approval process for the poo story?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I didn't get approval on my stuff. You guys just ran it. I'm losing LMP2 for the PC teams. I don't know what the deal is. Like I've never
Or retire.
I've never been rejected so much by males in my entire life by these PC customers.
LMP 2, number 2.
Yeah.
Well, you are here in spirit and in
Cardboard form.
one-dimensional, two-dimensional.
I know. I wish I could get the one-dimensional. All right.
Thanks, Bill.
All right, you guys have a great interview.
Thanks,
All right.
buddy.
All right.
All right, talk to you guys later.
All right.
Okay, bye.
Bye. I'm so relieved.
Yeah, you still have a job, I think.
Yeah, I think you're all right.
Until we put this out.
Then it's all downhill.
Sean, it's Ben.
Hey, Ben.
Do you have a Bill Riley impression? Because he has a Marc Miller impression.
I don't, actually.
His impression of you is not even close. He's like, "Don't worry, Ryan. You'll get your chance at Le Mans."
That's actually
what he
really
said.
good. That
That's-
sounds just like it.
Yeah.
You put your mind to it. I never
My
sound
name's
like that.
Marc
But
Miller,
you know what's
and I get
messed
to
up?
race GT cars.
Here's what I hung up on my dad because of him.
Because of what?
Because of Bill.
As in you had to take Bill's
Because
call?
of the podcast. My dad called me after he listened to the podcast.
But we haven't heard this.
Yeah. He called me
Right.
and he said, I just listened to Bill's podcast, and he started laughing. That guy, he is so funny. That was great. And you know what? His impersonation of you was spot on. And I was like, are you kidding? He's like, no, he just nailed it. And I'm like, you gotta be, bye. Click.
Dinner
And
with
then I
Racer,
felt bad.
breaking up families.
Yes.
Since
Congratulations.
2016.
Yep.
2012 Sebring crash?
14.
14. What happened
2
there?
years
Everybody
ago.
thought Michael Valiante in the 93
Yeah, I
hard
know.
car wrecked
Hey,
you, myself included.
McCory was teammate Tyler was like, man, I stormed down there, started yelling at him. He was like, it wasn't me. I didn't do it.
I didn't do
touch
it.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Left rear control.
Right.
It wasn't the tie rod. It was a control arm.
Right.
Left rear control arm broke. Was wobbling,
Sure.
but it snapped, and then it turned violently.
Right.
Basically,
Right.
rear steered into the wall at 100 miles per hour.
Yeah, and an MX-5.
Yeah, the battery ended up in the fan area, So after I was done barking like a seal, I can't talk. I tried to talk in the radio, but there was no radio because there's no battery. And yeah, that was rough. I went out to a Mexican restaurant that night.
I know.
Yeah, you were there.
I was there.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember.
It's the one Mexican restaurant at Sebring that's right on the water.
It's so good.
Yeah. Especially in Sebring, because Sebring sucks.
It hurts so much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, we had no real updates on it except that, like, he's okay.
Yeah.
And then I, like, look across the restaurant because we're done. Like, that was our race.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm eating with the Compass guys. And I remember looking across the restaurant. And I see you, like, at a table.
Well, it took 10 minutes to get in there from the car.
Yeah.
Like, literally.
And you're sitting at the head of a table eating.
Yeah.
Did you have a margarita?
No,
Everybody else did though, right?
Everyone was drinking.
Yeah.
And then we had one guy with us that was our DD because we had to drive to Tampa that night.
Right.
I had a 5 a.m. flight the next day to get home.
God.
I got home to an empty house. My aunt and my cousin picked me up.
Right.
To got me up the stairs,
Yeah.
and I said, okay.
Well, deal with it.
Off you go.
Yeah.
If that ever happened again, now I have someone to come home to. But it's like.
What's the hardest part about driving GS now? In the Continental Tire series.
In the Continental Tire, there isn't, compared to ST. I mean,
I think ST is a little bit more difficult.
I think ST is a little more difficult because the cars there's a bigger variance.
Yeah.
There's more cars.
Yeah.
So when you have a bad day, it's a really bad day.
Yeah.
And in ST, you've got the MX-5s are strong in certain races, and they're just horrible in other races, And that was always something you had to have a balance. But the Porsche's been good,
Like almost everywhere.
Well, it's been good everywhere, comparative. But, all the cars in GS seemingly are all good.
Yeah.
It's closer. There's never a car that seems to be out to lunch completely
At a certain track. Yeah.
And but I felt like we were pretty much in the hunt for every race.
Yeah.
We gave away a few.
Okay.
And I think that definitely cost us. We could have been a lot closer in the championship. But it's tough to beat the Multimatic guys.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what to think about the race formats. I like the 2.5 hour races.
Yeah, it was fun.
I don't know how much how a 2 hour race seems short.
Yeah.
I like the idea of longer races for sure.
Yeah.
And but it'd be nice if there's 4 or 5 of those instead of just a couple.
I always heard from people that said Continental would be better if it was 6 4 to 6 hour races instead of 10 2.5 hour races.
Yeah.
Because then every race you can almost always put 3 people in.
Yeah.
Kind of get that club
No, that would
guy
make
that
sense.
wants to drive.
Yeah, that would make sense. Or you just put 3 pros in.
You put in 3 pros, you pay them a lot of money, and you hire Mark and I and Bill O'Reilly to engineer.
Yeah.
Sean to do PR. He's the IMSA
Yeah.
PR bad boy.
You.
He does not like that.
I do not like that.
Yeah. He's the renegade.
Do you get that moniker, like hashtag IMSA bad boy?
No, because we don't. But he's
Hashtag
been trying
PR badass.
He's been trying to create that, and I think
I don't have to create anything. It's true.
I'm the renegade.
You're the
pro
renegade
Black
pro
sheep PR person.
guy
no,
in
Black
pro
Sheep.
sports car racing.
He's the guy.
I'm the renegade.
He's the renegade.
Black sheep.
He's the guy.
What do you call it? No.
A black sheep.
Maverick. The Maverick.
That makes
Oh.
more sense. A black sheep would be
PR
like,
Maverick.
you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
like-
Yeah.
Who is the black sheep?
Who is the-
of
The Sarah Palin word.
Who is the black sheep in the PR world?
You guys want to go for a drink after this?
Yeah, Sean,
You want to see
hit up the
downtown
bars?
Holland?
Is there a downtown Holland?
Yeah.
Oh,
Holland's nice.
all right, cool. All right. Tomorrow we're having dinner with Dan Binks.
Dan Binks.
The Dan Binks.
Yes.
Who was apparently just thrown out of a chump car race
Yeah.
for having
He just
the
lost the car.
Every smart person's been
No,
checked
apparently
out.
not. The story we were told was that they were like, all right,
That was Lemons.
Lemons.
He won Chump Car yesterday. But at the previous Lemons race,
Did they
he
crush
ran-
their car?
No, they did what's called a claim, which is they
Oh,
give
yeah.
you $500 to say your car's too fast and they keep it.
Yeah.
I did one Lemons race. Did I tell you that I did a Lemons race?
No, where?
At Gingerman, which is like 30 minutes from here. Yeah.
Gingerman's only 30 minutes from here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. Remember? I came down there. It's
Yeah,
like 30
I thought
minutes.
you drove farther to see me. I wanted to believe you did.
So I went down there. It was Jill Peltier from Lemons of Love. They were sponsored the event, and we were having a family day with my kids, and Tabitha and her daughter, and we were all actually. I was putting together a go-kart, so it wasn't really a family day.
Yeah.
They were.
You dragged them along.
I dragged them along.
Yeah.
But she texted me and she says, "Hey, do you have your gear with you?" And I was like, "Yeah, it just happens to be in the trunk, because
always happens to be in the trunk."
And
I brought none of it.
Jill texted me and she says, "Stop in. I want to, do you want to race today?" I was like, "Well, I've got my entire family." She goes, "Just come in, bring your gear. I've got a plan." So I go in. I check in with her. She introduced me to the tech official, and this is what I love about Lemons, because, you're recognizable to a certain extent.
I appreciate that.
I am not as recognizable.
Oh, stop it.
So
You're Jeremy Renner, bro.
that's right. It's like, damn, Jeremy Renner, he can drive a race car,
That
man.
guy's
It's
good
pretty
in a
fast.
kart. That guy is good in a go-kart.
So I went to this Lemons race, and I took my gear to the tech guy,
Yeah.
and he goes, "I'm just going to put it under this table. We're going to find a team that has been horrible.
Need somebody.
Well, that's been getting penalties, and we're basically going to pull a guy and say, we're going to, listen, you're going to get a 30-minute penalty, because it was a 12-hour race or something.
Yeah.
You're going to get a 30-minute penalty where you're going to sit, or we're just going to put a random person off, out of the thing in the car." And I was like, "People go for that?" I said, "Well, 30 minutes versus just drive around safely,
Yeah.
And I said, "Okay." So we get there, and, my family was all up in turn 2, just hanging out,
Right.
cheering.
Yeah.
And I go out. First off, it was a neon. Then I get a text, like, "You want to drive a neon?" I was like, "Not
What
really."
Year? What year?
Oh, I don't know.
1990.
Primered black that year. 92 probably.
Oh, so like the original neon.
Oh, yeah. The old, hi.
Yeah. Yeah.
That neon. Hi.
Well played.
So this guy comes in, and the first thing I noticed was the team manager was irate already. Because it's like, so I
doing
walk
what?
up, I'm
Yeah.
standing there, it's like, "Oh, so you're going to put your buddy in the car? Are you just going to put your buddy in the car?" I was like, crap, this is not going to be as
Right.
good.
No way this goes well.
Yeah. So I talked to the tech guy, and he's like, "Listen, hey, Mark, I've got a gear bag there. Go change. We're just going to put you in here and go out." So okay. So I came out. I have a suit. It was an older suit, so it was kind of baggy on me because I lost a little bit of weight. Just throwing that out there.
In case you don't know, I look amazing.
And the guy that got out of the car was sweaty. It was a little bigger guy, and he was just sweating profusely, and that was the helmet I was going to...
No.
Yeah, because I didn't have my own helmet. Because I couldn't have a race, it had to be a cue ball type of thing. I don't have a cue ball.
Why'd it have to be a cue ball thing?
It could be a racing helmet with my name on it. It's like, that's not a guy off the street.
Wait.
they're trying-
I'm confused.
They're trying to convince that they're just going to put a random person walking by,
okay.
So the
fan at
second
the
they
track.
see IMSA stickers on it.
I'd be out on this, just on the helmet thing.
Right.
Some random dude.
So I put this guy's stuff on, and,
Yeah.
and I walked down, and I said, "Well, yeah, everything fits good, man, except what's this?" I'm holding the Hanseweiss, because we're talking about Hanseweiss. I'm like, "What's this do? Like, what am I supposed to do with this?" So I'm trying to play it up the best I can.
Right.
And they're like, you see all 4 other guys are like, "Oh, no. This is going to be horrible."
Yeah.
And I look in the car, and I said, "Oh, it's a stick, huh? Okay. All right, well, that's cool. I can do that." And they're like, "You can drive a manual, right?" And he said, "Yeah, I can drive a manual. Like, I had manuals all through high school, so no problem." So I get in the car. Of course, they've got the Butler built type seat. I was like, "Man, this is not as safe as I think it's gonna be." So get in, and then they have a lap timer in there. I was like, "Oh, great! So I'm gonna know how fast. What kind of lap time should I be running?" They were like, all 4 of them in unison were like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Yeah,
whoa!
don't worry about it.
Don't worry about the
Yeah,
lap
yeah.
times. Our best time. Don't even worry about it." And it's like, if you're running, you may see 2:15, 2:16. Their best time is like a 2 flat.
Right.
So I said, "Oh, okay, all right. So I got to keep it under 2:15 if I can. Like, guy, just don't worry."
We tested there in a GT car like a month ago,
Yeah.
and we were doing like 25s.
a minute 25.
Yeah, to give fans the idea of
Yeah,
how
yeah.
slow this neon.
Yeah, the neon's gonna be really slow.
35 seconds
Yeah.
off. Yeah.
So I was like, okay. So I take off, and I happen to just stall it.
Like,
Legitimately. like I was.
It was real.
Yeah, I was like, ugh.
hey, those neons have a lot of power.
Yeah.
You got to roll into it.
And you can see him just a couple of the guys just like their hands up in the air, like, oh god. So I take off, and of course I haven't been on that track in forever.
Really?
No, it's close to me, but I don't drive it very often.
Yeah.
So I took off, and there's 60 cars or 65 cars on the
it's
track.
a lot.
It was busy.
Right.
The first lap I ran like a 56, like from the pit lane.
Right.
And boom, and I was like, hey, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
And then I'm waving it. I get
Right,
leaning out the window.
right.
I'm like, wait, there's no window now. I gotta pull my hand back
I'm
in.
scared now.
Yeah. So I drove for I think 20 or 30 minutes, and passed as many cars. Just had a blast. It was
Yeah.
so much fun. The Lemons deal is legit.
I've
I
always
think
been
it's
out
so
on
much-
it, but I'm recently like, I want back in.
I
wanna
want
do
in
it.
now.
I
I want to do it again. So
Yeah.
I came in, and it was right after I had gotten back from France. So
From Le Mans.
from Le Mans,
From racing at Le Mans.
from racing Le Mans.
Yeah.
You know, Ryan.
One day you'll get your
One day.
chance. I'm like, I have a
I didn't
job,
want to rub
Bill.
it in, Ryan.
I literally, I'm like, I have a ride, Bill.
I know.
I have a
Yeah.
career.
Yeah, it's
like,
a good
maybe
one.
one day.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one. So I came in, and they're like, okay, seriously, who are you? I'm like, well, you're on the team for sure. Like, you want to do any more races? And no one would tell them why I was out there, like who I was. I was like, well, racing Continental Tire Series. Well, what was your last race? I said, well, I just got back from Le Mans. And they were like, oh, this is crazy. They're like, someone else has to get in the car and go back on track right now.
go.
They were just too busy just
They're like,
hanging out and
"What?"
talking.
Getting your autographs,
Oh, yeah,
selfies. Yeah.
It was
Hanging
really
out with Marc
cool.
Miller, no big deal.
I would do that again in a heartbeat. I would go do Le Mans or Chump Car, and it's just,
Wait.
Yeah, that in one sentence.
Oh, wait.
In one sentence. I do
And the
Lamar,
You meant to say
500.
lemons, I think.
Daytona 500. And then
I'd do it in a second. I'd race Le Mans,
And Le
Chump
Mans,
Car,
then
Indy
Chump Car.
500, F1,
the Indy 450.
anything you got.
Yeah, whatever.
SEC regionals.
450, 451, whatever it
Yeah.
takes.
All right. Tomorrow we're having dinner with Dan Binks.
Yes.
Any one question you can think to ask Dan Binks.
Yes, I have a question for Dan
Okay.
Binks.
All right.
If he could choose any other race program to do what he does with his current program, if he can choose any other in the industry, which one would it be and why?
better not be a goddamn GM program.
He's like, well, the Cadillac
It
program
can't be.
World Challenge.
It can't be a no. That's
Yeah.
you can't do that. Got to toe the company line? No, you don't.
No, not on this show.
No,
All right.
because that's I would want because when you're in that type of program when you're doing the same thing for as long as he's been doing, it's like clockwork at a certain extent, but I think it's tougher in a way for them to have to reinvent and do the same to stay in
kinda
that
recreate
box.
the same program,
sure.
Yeah.
Well, Continental didn't get the check.
Yeah, they got the barbecue sauce.
They got the barbecue sauce.
Meyer
Your
brand
pumpkin.
barbecue sauce.
Continental
I didn't
Tire.
think
Bought
I
you a
didn't think it
pumpkin.
was fair for Continental to buy dinner. I wanted you guys to
We appreciate that.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
Mike Shank was like, buy me dinner.
really.
No,
Such-
no, he
Screw
tried to
that.
pay.
He tried to cover our check, and we
Yeah.
yelled at him.
Yeah, but in this case, Marc Miller's got the check.
I got the check. Continental's done amazing things for the series I race in
Absolutely.
and my friends and so.
I'm finished.
Wow, that was such a great episode. That guest really knew how to tell a story.
Well, good, Ryan. I'm glad you enjoyed Marc Miller's episode as much as I did.
You're welcome, Sean. I'm right here.
Again, thank you to Marc Miller for opening up his home and cooking a pretty dang good dinner for us. So, all right, we're going to actually close out of here with somebody from the state of Michigan, Kari Holmes, who actually knows Marc Miller. Kari is available on iTunes. You can look her up. Her name is spelled Kariholmes, and she's got a couple different albums, several different songs out there. But here's one example. It's a song called More From Me. Here's Kari Holmes.
Rain came pouring down as I lie there on my bed, dreaming of what could have been, but I'm crying here instead. I know I should have turned to you, 'cause a lot was on my mind, but I just walked away, and it's bottled up inside. How could I let you down? You were always there for me. I'm so sorry for all the pain I caused. You deserve much more from me. Deserve much more from me. Fear's taking over me, and I'm starting to break down. I need you to take hold of me. I need to be found, 'cause I can't go on living without you here with me. I need you to guide and set me free. How could I let you down? You were always there for me. I'm so sorry for all the pain I caused. You deserve much more from me. Deserve much more from me. You are the only one who could ever save me from my darkest night. You are my light. You pull me through. I've been a rescue. I will always stand by How could I let you down? You were always there for me. I'm so grateful for my life you restored me, restored Rain came pouring